when you have ideas, more often than not, there'll be always someone around you in a way that would be either interested or would be an enabler.
True.
Or will propel you towards achieving this. But I think as humans, we are very materialistic, we are very distracted easily, so we end up missing a lot of these opportunities.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Be You Be True. I'm Florence Isome, and thank you so much for your support this far. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the even ideas on what we could do more with our podcast. We appreciate that. And this is another chance for us to have another conversation. And I'm so happy. Today we have a very wonderful guest with us whom you just get to meet in a short while. But how am I? I think I'm good. And I'm hoping to hear more from you. Okay, over to you, William. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be in your podcast.
Yeah.
Be a bit is something that fits really deep. And it's a message to everyone. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just give it to you for you to introduce yourself, how you're feeling, and just how is life like?
Thank you. I'm actually very excited to be here. I've been for our first podcast. This is one of my first podcasts today. Yeah. But it's amazing because everywhere we love listening to stories, we love listening to experiences from other people. But at the same time, it's a good opportunity to also give back and just share back what you know, what you've gone through. It might be of help to someone else. So they motivate and inspire. So being here, it's a wonderful opportunity to get to that. I'm William Opiyo. I'm a techie, both fun person. Fun by kind I mean I love a lot of creative things, be it adventurous things, be it things to do with interacting with other people.
Yeah.
I've been debating whether I'm an introvert or not. Maybe an ambivert. I know a lot of people see me as extremely extroverted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nevertheless, I think it gives a good opportunity to just get the balance from the tech world to interacting with humans.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age when AI is coming up.
True. Thank you for, being here and for your time. I think it's just validated me right now and said this is another opportunity for us to give back to the community, which is I've been debating lately on okay, what is this podcast on about, and like what is the core or technically what is it that we are solving in the society? Because at the end of the day, we should be solving for something out here, and it's an amazing thing. Instead, we're out here to give back in terms of what we already know and what we can influence others also to make better decisions. You are a ball of energy. Yeah. And I'm wondering, you guys, this guy over here, he's an MC. He's runs shows and all that. You wouldn't even imagine with the ambivert. So for me, exclusively extrovert. Like I don't know anything else other than that. So it's amazing to see this other side of you.
Yeah. Once in a while, we can become as a
Yeah. And I think also the tech beats also adds to that.
actually an interesting thing. So I started tech when I was in high school.
Okay.
By the time I was in Form 2,
Yeah.
which was very many years ago. I think that's around 2004. I was building websites and doing all those sort of things.
Yeah.
By the time I was finishing my Form 4, I was able to write like commercial software.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to help with with the buses and matatu management.
Yeah.
And it was just a good experience. We were so good by the time we were finishing high school. I remember at that point the letters came and asked us who we hired to write for us all was called.
Oh really?
Yeah. I did computer, so it was like my first subject even in high school. Campus, I went did computer science.
Yeah.
Also I did extremely well on that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that a lot of people know me outside the tech world, but also in the tech world I've done quite a lot.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. And you just mentioned this is your first podcast. Thank you. We are honored.
Also, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's dive to today's topic. What is our conversation today? And I can, pick from what we went to engage yesterday. For those who know engage, it's this um space that brings people together and different topics depending on different stories depending on different topics the organizers suggest. And yesterday I was blown away, you know, and the topic was against all odds, against all obstacles, against all distractions in life, whatever experiences that you go through. How do you get to rise again and become the best version of yourself and become, for you to live the life you actually have pictured in your mind? And we had about, I think, 5, was it 5 speakers? And it was just amazing. I don't know what you picked from the entire conversation.
The beauty of it,
Yeah.
to think about it. So we had the 5 different speakers
Yeah.
from 5 extremely different setups
Yeah.
and 5 different type of stories.
Mm-hmm.
You had the guys with the everyday person, and all of these people, whatever they share, they relate with. And against all odds,
Yeah.
that is,
Yeah.
whatever you do and go through, someone who goes through something different.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find people who have sort of exact path, and that's what makes it extremely beautiful. So listening to all those things, particularly, I remember what Big Ted was saying.
Oh.
Yeah, when he was from the consular and then the job ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, then what the thoughts that come through someone's mind. You're coming back to Kenya feeling like you're going to be. You've been demoted. Everything, everyone, every person looks at you the hero.
Yeah.
Um, everyone expects you have all this cash that we can dispose.
Dollars.
But I think just listening to this story is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And one of the things that actually is proof for me was when the 10 guys were called in France, and everyone was actually told, this was the audience, and 10 other people were picked from the audience and were told to give their points on what they planned, on what exactly, how can I represent, what does it mean for them when we say against all odds? And, like, to see that's one thing is consistency in showing up, another person saying, what else?
Resilience.
There's resilience, another person says, there's this guy, was it Kamzupi Mugari, who said something really nice. And then another one was just happy because we were there and they've never thought they actually going to attend any of the engage shows. Then just being in the presence of, oh, I'm here and I'm here to support my brother. That was more than enough. And you shared a bit about you,
Yeah, the experience, the
Yeah.
pain. And as a feature of it, or rather, when we say we listen but you don't judge, here is what comes into play. Because if you think about it, we were able at that space in that kind of environment and setup.
Yes.
That people just come and talk their hearts out,
Yeah.
and we get to listen, and we get to appreciate what someone supposed to do.
Yeah.
And if people we knew, maybe we look at them in different light.
Yeah.
And now look at everyone as human. At the end of the day, the core of it is we are all human.
Oh.
We are all human.
We are
Yeah.
at the core base. And before I actually get to asking those questions, for me, one of the things that I picked up and I really wanted to see yesterday was the story of Safaricom CFO Because most times, especially probably for us who are growing our careers, and then you see someone who is already, I would say, is already established. She's a she, but a
He is established.
yes, he is. And for you to actually hear, I was very keen to listen because I've never had his story before. And then you hear how he started from a very humble background, and it was this very tiny village. How we explain this? There's even war at some point. They had to relocate and came back. All this, and then he, decided to make these choices that's actually made him. You have to make those bad choices so that you can avoid. So it just made me realize, it just gives you that mindset of, okay, I can relate with this person to some extent, and it's not all that difficult how I'm putting it in my head. For sometimes you can be distracted and be like, okay, I think this person, I don't know what they did, or I don't know if they got connections to where they got. But now when you hear like often it's hard work, and it's how the universe, some would say universe, some would say how God puts you at opportunities that you grab and run with. I think that was beautiful for me to pay.
And I just look at him. He's an extremely senior, not only in Sapari from, but another bit.
Yeah.
In his craft, when you talk of finance and deliver, his name will pop up somewhere.
Yes.
To know that he's still human, that he suffered.
I know.
In fact, that's not just that he was from a humble background, but is there a level below humble? That was extreme. Yeah, that was But again, as mentioned, that we empathize choices. We just have to make choices. You choose what to do, and you talked about opportunities.
Yeah.
Opportunities will come. Whatever you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually decided to do this and to, put our faces and our vulnerability out there on the betterment of the viewer. I think now, let me put the spotlight on you. Because when he was speaking about choices, it's one of the things that we need to think very, and to put a spotlight on that topic, on just generally choices and how we can change our life. Three we're told, is it 360 on 180? Because they say 360 you come back to the Facebook. I don't know. So it's about 80. Yeah. So for you, how had choices generally brought you to this position? Like, can you picture, say, a moment or situation that really stands out for you, that against all odds, you did what you did and you got yourself here?
It was actually in high school where I had to choose someday to take computer studies or business studies. I really felt that was a very big turning point in my life, because it was as a result of these computer studies that I went ahead and took.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of opportunities and a lot of things open. And even with that, as bad as I am, those days are extremely quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, this to happen. And unless we did talk briefly about that, some say like,
Yeah. I was looking at probably background and environment has a lot to play.
Yeah.
To play in our growth. In high school, I think there was a bit of confidence and esteem issues.
Yeah.
I was always thinking, what will people say? How will it be like? The esteem was, I can say, it was extremely low, but I really had all these ideas that I thought if things happen this way, it will be great. And I was extremely observant, a trait that I still hold to date. I had to make a choice that day to sit in front when the teacher was coming. Said, remember you were being taught something around binary. And she was like, I need people to come in and volunteer in a project.
Yeah.
Typical cheerleaders and the crowd mentality. So none knows everything behind, because this was just like an extra class.
Yeah.
So, I out of pity about the teacher, I decided to just step out of the crowd and volunteer. And there's one guy from our class, on Joanne, thought about go for camping. So with that, I was requested to go and ask for permission from my parents to participate in such an event. Of which very when I spoke to my dad, he was like, it's an interesting thing. Hey, to get an opportunity, go for it.
Yeah.
My first place to go was the Posta Plaza. Imagine from high school, now I think from class house, it came there.
Yeah.
There are all these computers. At that point, computers are extremely rare, and the internet was unheard of. To
Hey, probably which era are you?
use dumpling. And I remember
Hi, and then
just having the opportunity to push and work extra hard because a lot of people are asking, why are you doing this?
yeah.
The other studies that you need to do, you need to learn other things, including teachers, by the way. And just the persistence, and I was stubborn to do this. I ended up even being the computer lab prefect in high school.
Yeah.
And just the choices around what to do, what to pursue, stemmed from that. That even from campus, I didn't have choices of courses to do.
Yeah.
Like when people have 3 different careers, they don't know you want to be a doctor, a lawyer. For me, it was just computer science, all the 3 choices.
God.
Yeah.
Amazing. Where did the business studies go to? Is it part of this year you were something like what?
No, it was not part of me.
Oh.
I think also the experience, the fact experience was there. Because the first exam that I did in high school was business studies cut.
Oh.
And just the order of classes and everything, and people are coming in, people are starting to copy. So you're torn between copying or not copying.
Yeah.
Because it was not something natural to me. I ended up just trying and scribbling things there, and time, and when the results came,
Yeah.
I was one of the last.
Oh my.
I remember I got touching out to put by. It was embarrassing.
Oh, that's interesting. And brings me back to this point when someone says, master your strength, and if you want to succeed in life, add more of your strength. Yeah. So it's such an amazing thing because I feel like we are naturally created to we are aligned in a certain direction.
Yeah.
So for instance, for you, it's more of computer science and your tech world, like which I need to learn more. Yeah, and you're more inclined in communications and more marketing. So what is the importance here of understanding hard work in terms of now adding your strengths? And also, what do you think of intuition? If God is in it, like how do you think God has to a hand in it? And also hard work, how does it play in making sure that achievers?
Yeah. I first and foremost believe that everyone has something special with them,
Yeah.
and that we are all very unique beings. I think one of the things that I have observed for a long time is you might have an idea. Then you can run to someone and share that particular idea because that person doesn't have the same vision or even doesn't share the dream.
Yeah.
They can end up trashing it or like just dismiss it.
Yeah.
Even sometimes it's not intentional, but it happens without knowing. And I think I realized this after some time because I've been having lots of ideas on things that I possibly can do. But because other people, when you share, they dismiss or they don't not taking it seriously, I learned how to find my ways,
Yeah.
what to share, knowing the right people to share with. It's really, really important. And when, sometimes there's the element of when to share.
Yeah.
Because you can share also something very premature, it also dies prematurely.
Yeah.
You can share something at the wrong point to time and it dies. I think the most important thing is having that strong belief, and you have to teach this to our friends, to the children, and everything, that God has put something special
Yeah.
in each and every one of us. Not everyone will notice, but you know and you are sure your path is this way.
Yeah.
I believe that something special that has been put in us is now once it fits you, and you find that your area and passion and purpose, you put all the effort and all the work. towards it. Because again, we always say hard work beats talent, and talent pays to work. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for that. I think that is very enlightening, and I love the point where it said, we have to believe in our dreams,
Yeah.
regardless whether anyone else is not seeing your vision. You need to literally just hold your vision and work on it. I think my question would be, what would be the right time? How do you know when to stop thinking and actually commit to your vision and working on it?
So in addition to all those things that you've said, you have to protect your vision.
Yeah.
So when you have this vision, I think the right time to always start anything is now.
Yeah.
Always. It might not be a big step.
Mm-hmm.
That small, tiny thing that you need to do, take anything towards making sure that you move towards
The right
achieving
direction. Yeah.
your vision, the dream that you have.
Mm-hmm.
There are two interesting quotes that always come up. If you don't live to fulfill your dream and vision, you will live to fulfill other people's
Someone else, yeah.
dreams and visions. And also, you just need to do something. I think it was Martin Luther King who said, just don't sit there. Run if you have to. If you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. The essence of it is just do something that
True.
propels you towards your dream and vision. And what's better to work on than your dream?
I know.
Something that is
You
built in you.
enjoy, yes.
You will love it, you will have joy, you are meant to do that.
Yeah.
And that's actually the dream that you have, that's your purpose in life.
I feel like this is a therapy session. You're talking to me. You're just affirming my fears and my doubts today. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And also I hope you listen to the part that you start now.
and the thing is, let me tell you a story about this podcast. We literally had this vision for so many years, and Ashu, the crew guy over there, we literally talked about it, and then like things were not, we were against, everything was against her. Those all obstacles you'd think of, timings, like resources and everything, and we couldn't make it then. And eventually things, but things came to, can say, fruition. Things things aligned towards the end of last year, and now till this year we are doing this. And it's more of a never, always believe in your vision and keep on working on your vision.
Yeah, and actually a beautiful part that you said is you have to keep on working.
Yeah.
Challenges will always come, for sure. I think in the course of the podcast, even as you get more guests and whatnot,
Yeah.
just do a count of how many ideas or things I've gone through without any challenges. And it said that when you're just about to break through, that's when it gets the hardest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Eish,
you have to
today,
push.
hey, wisdom.
Yeah.
That's amazing. When you talk about protecting your vision, and you've just mentioned also previously the aspect of you need to understand who to talk to when it comes to your vision. How do you know this is the right person to talk to?
Yeah, that's a good question that a lot of people have always found challenges, me included.
Yeah.
There are lots of times I've had visions and dreams and I tell people things and it's dismissed on the spot.
Yeah.
And then you end up giving up. Then a few years, you see someone else coming with something similar. And it's actually thriving.
Yeah.
And you wonder, but I had this idea, I could have done almost the same way.
True.
What is, as Christians, there are those Bible verses that we've read and parables.
Yeah.
Where there are cases whereby you've been given something. If you're not using it, it will be taken from you and someone else will be given who can make better use of it.
True.
Same things to the dreams and the visions that you have. And my belief is this: when God gives you something, He also gives you a way and some sort of provision for
True.
it. He will give you people around you to work with you on the same thing.
Yeah.
It's only that for us as humans, because of a lot, maybe our environment interest or even lack of knowledge, we don't see most of the time these opportunities that come to us and the channels that are there. When you have ideas, more often than not, there'll be always someone around you in a way that will be either interested
Yeah.
or would be an enabler
True.
or will propel you towards achieving this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as humans, we are very materialistic, we are very distracted easily, so we end up missing a lot of these opportunities. And personally, I've missed a lot. And most of the time, it's said that experience is the best teacher. Sometimes we talk too soon, to the wrong people.
Yes.
I think we need to look at the people around us. So that's why I think, as part of growth, look around at what you want to do. What is it that you're very passionate about? Who are the people around your segments? It can be people who teach, people who do something similar or even close to it, people who are passionate around it, that will get to direct you to the right path. And those would be people who would be better to engage. Otherwise, think of if you're interested in, let's say, something around podcasts, and you come to talk to me, who is interested, let's say, around sports. And when I talk sports, I'm really, really into sports. I have zero idea what you want.
True.
Or what your passion. Then you come talk to me. If I look at everything from my perspective, what do you think your idea will go to? Yeah, there'll be.
Bottom.
Yeah, so I think it's just about also just being sensitive, figuring out your environment. Actually, your environment contributes a lot to your success or failure. It will be the people that you let around
Interact
you,
with.
people that you talk to every other day. But as it said, you take some of the number of people around you, then take the average, and you'll find yourself somewhere in between. So you should always be very sensitive. Put yourself in the right spaces, with the right crews, with the right people, then they'll propel you. If I'm passionate about sports, I need to hang around sports people.
Yeah.
If you love, let's say, studies and literature, you need to find those people. You need to be going to the poetry events and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever your passion leads you, also we talked about hard work, and when you put the effort and take the steps towards that, that's when you're now going to find yourself finding the right people to talk to, and there I think you can start building onto your vision and dreams.
True. Do you think shame and fear, pulls us back?
Absolutely.
Because there's the aspect of now you've started this vision, or you're thinking of, hey, let me talk to Flo about this. And then you talk to me and I'm like, hey, I've never even heard of such a dream. What are you saying? There's no future in it. And then there's that aspect of, you're crushed in a way. Or again, back to the engage talk. When this Safaricom CFO, Dilip Pal, said, when the uncle said, no, you cannot come stay in my house, so you need to just remain in the village, the thing would be, this shame, let me just go back. And he had already said bye to everybody, remember? And even the friend was actually bidding him goodbye at the airport. So it's more of you have to make the choice of, regardless of shame, regardless of fear whatsoever, I am going to push. Whoever will talk. Whoever is going to limit me, it's their problem. Me, I'm not going to accept any limitations. What can you say about that?
Shame and fear are there, and they're always there with us. Some of them are actually part and parcel of our growth systems.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of what and how we saw people being treated, or even how we've treated people and laughed at others.
Yeah.
When you look at someone failing, you just get onto laughing at them, and the things that grow now within these people, they don't want to experience that again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not funny or joyful being laughed at.
It's not.
It's not happy being a failure, or trying something and failing. However, look at it from this other side. There's some of the people that have really, really succeeded and made it. They've had to overcome that barrier. the fears, the failures. Again, from the Engage Talks, when we attended, if you think of what, I'll reference a couple of speakers like Big Ted.
Yeah.
He said he was from Eastlands. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Failures
Ghetto.
don't scare him. He's failed a lot.
Yes.
Do you think that people who are from some sections or some environments sort of have an advantage because they've had to experience the downsides of life before others? There's always the saying that if you find some of the people who are extremely at a very young age, who've probably lost their parents or the others, when they grow up, they tend to be more mature than others. Even we've observed cases in teenage pregnancies whereby you find not even teenager, let's say just young pregnancies at a young age. Some of both the girls and the boys or ladies and gentlemen in that age, when you find in the same age set one that has kids and one that doesn't, the way they conduct the people, the sense of responsibilities, the maturity in quotes, is very different because sometimes the environment gets to shape a lot of how we tend to see and face things.
Yes.
The person who has had some of these setbacks in life, if you call them setbacks, they are more hardened by the society, by the environment, by things that they go through. But this other person who's still very caged and protected, they really don't have that touch. They've not gone through that. So they need to find ways of being shielded in a way.
Yeah.
So the way they react to disappointments and failures are likely to be very different from this other case or sort of mature kind of audience or mature people.
Yeah, and it's also more so in relations to making wrong decisions, I think. Because the ones who are guarded and, they have from this environment where there's sort of security, it's more of you have everything figured or everything is being handed to you in a way. So how do we navigate the thought of making the wrong decision while also navigating our visions?
I think this comes also under parenting and general society, how we let the children and people grow up.
Okay.
The people who don't have the privilege of having parents or guardians or whoever will be in a guided place to help them grow, they'll have opportunities to make wrong decisions themselves. And unfortunately, the world can be ruthless. As the Swahili saying goes, asiyefunzwa na mamaye hufunzwa na ulimwengu. No, ulimwengu is not the best teacher.
Yeah.
You'll find a lot of these situations being able to be addressed from an early age.
Yeah.
I think parenting and growth comes handy. And if we look at, let's say, someone who is a bit younger, they can be molded into how to approach issues. They can be allowed to make mistakes and fail fast. If they learn how to do that at a very young age, and they know that this would be the impact and the implications, then hopefully the older they grow, they get to understand the importance of making one decision over the other. Because life will always present them with choices.
Yes.
And even when you get to a certain point, it's more, it even sees beyond being about you. You get to be pushed by the forces, external forces.
Yeah.
Be it friends, be it the media and the social media, be it just some dreams. So you find a lot of people being pushed by different forces.
Yeah.
And at this point, if you don't have the skill or the stamina to make decisions, that becomes an issue. And there are people who have found themselves in problems because they cannot make decisions, let alone making the right or wrong decisions.
Paralyzed.
Being able to make a decision.
Yeah.
Some is fear, actually most of it is actually out of fear.
Yeah.
Because you're too afraid. If you decide this, what will people think? If I say something that is contrary to what is expected or what the crew wants, then what happens?
Yeah.
Referencing Engage, there was this Gen Z, the 22-year-old
Yes.
who was there, and he said if I was told by my friends to just go that kuna form.
Yes.
Engage type, engage talk was a form
Yeah.
in quotes, but he didn't know that it's that type of a form. And he said if he knew, then he
wouldn't
would
have
dress
differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a choice, but again, you have to fail. Now, for example, for him, I'm pretty sure the next time he gets to be invited to places, he might there's a good chance that he'll ask, "What kind of place are we going to?" And he'll be able to make decisions out of
Differently.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was also an eye-opening for him, given that it wasn't a party,
Yeah.
and it was very informative, and actually he got to be on the stage and talk. I think that would be a turning point in a way for him. I think there's also a group of people who, as much as they've gone through a lot of obstacles, say for reference, you born in ghetto and then you get to grow up in this environment to a point that environment actually is stuck with you. You have a vision, yes, but you're totally not seeing a way forward. Ama, you're just super comfortable in where you are. Like, I don't think this is who I am. Like, for instance, for me, the community I interact with a lot of persons with disabilities, you'd find that, I have a disability, I don't think that's for me, or it's going to be a lot harder for me to even chase my dreams because I have these limitations. So from, say, poverty, say I have a disability, say different kind of mindsets, how can we help these people, and what can you tell them in terms of giving them, enabling them, or just changing their perspective right now that you can actually get to where you want to go?
Yeah. So that's a good question, a very hard one. Just because there's always been all this clamor for change or something to approach or do things in a certain way. There are a lot of environmental variables that you'd find some things that would work in one area would not apply to another area. So number one, I think coming to get to the understanding of where you are, that becomes very key and primary in terms of all the decisions that are supposed to be made. When it comes to environment, I think when you want to change, the best change that we've seen starts with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best change starts with you. You can influence one person.
True.
That one person gets to influence another, and there are more people who are getting to influence the others. If we look at making a difference, very soon you'll learn that if you take that step around you, your environment, it's becoming better, more friendly for other people and other people too.
Yeah.
Make decisions, to make mistakes, to learn, to grow. Any change that comes externally, let it be something that's like an unexpected boost or a boom.
Yeah.
But the moment we start, the way you look at people, if I look at someone going through a certain situation, how do I look at them? If I go to town and I see someone who has stepped on a banana peel and they sleep, will I be the first one to jump and laugh?
No.
Yeah.
Probably yes.
Ideally, in the past, the old me would laugh, but what would be better?
Yeah.
Because you can think of things that could go wrong there, a lot of things.
Yeah.
The injuries, the damage. What if we start learning and doing the right things ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one person, you make that small change. The time a million people get to make those changes, that becomes much more impactful, and that comes from within.
Good. Thank you, William. I think one last one. What is that? One last question as we close this episode. How do we master making choices under pressure? I know because sometimes, say, as you mentioned, there's environmental variables, and you find yourself in this situation where everything needs your attention. Minus even your vision. So including your vision, everything literally just is pulling you here, there, and you need to make sometimes the selfish decisions, the right decisions, wrong decisions, all these things. So how do we master making those decisions and saying, this is it, my foot is down, this is what we're doing, this is what I'm doing, and that's it.
Um, yeah, you've mentioned a number of interesting things. Let me touch a bit on the selfish decisions. How many times have you had cases whereby someone is very bitter, even sometimes at their relatives, just because they say that they sacrificed a lot for them?
Yeah.
Then these people don't see the sacrifice. The people don't either see, or even they don't recognize, or even appreciate. Someone will say, I never learned, I never did this, I stopped going to do ABCD just for you.
Yeah.
At that point, they had taken themselves, they had put themselves aside, they decided they are going to be in for this other person. The other person succeeds, forgets, and they'll say that, why did you do? Who requested you to do that? It was your own choice, evolution.
Yeah.
And there are choices that we make that can be harmful. I'm not saying that you should not help people, but at any time, you should not also sabotage yourself.
True.
There's so much capacity that you have. There's so much grace that God gives to each and every one of us. When He gives you the ability, He will also give you the heart to do it.
Yes.
And when you do something, do it without expectation.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you don't feel that it's coming from. Don't also do for show off. There are people who do a lot of things just to show off that I have the ability, I have the capacity to do this. Yes, I can. I have the muscle to do. But you actually don't.
Yeah.
At that point. So you end up stretching yourself, and it ends up with bitterness.
True.
I believe that with the ability that God gives each and every one of us, there is that strength, and as Christians, we believe that there is something for everyone. Even the person that you're supposed to help, if you don't have the ability, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
Give your best, pray for people, assist people where you are without self-sabotaging, so that you get to grow to the next level.
Yeah.
As individuals, we need to really pray hard and learn how to be better every day, how to protect our goals, our vision.
Yeah.
We need to read a lot so that we learn what are other people doing.
Yes.
With that, you get, number one, to learn your interest, your passion,
True.
and just getting to know generally where you are. More so, I think eventually we should learn to look at people with grace without being judgmental.
Yeah.
Because today someone is down, tomorrow they'll be up there, and you'll need to learn a thing or two from that journey.
Yeah.
Let's all be inspirational. Let's work with each other, because remember, at the core of everything that you have is that we are all humans. Because there's someone who one time I asked, what do you want most in this life? They said they want a lot of money. The next question was, okay, then you have a lot of money, what next? I'll be able to buy everything that I want, live anywhere. Okay, you can be able to buy. Then, at the end of it, when you come to the core of it, you'll find a lot of things don't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to learn how you relate with people, the environment around you, the people around you. That matters, how you relate with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think eventually let's just remember the core of everything is humanity, because once you remember that, all the selfishness, all the theft, all the crimes, everything, a lot of the things that are going on where there is no consideration for humans, a lot of it I expect it to really end or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we look at each other as human beings.
So what do you want in life, William?
I'd really love to fulfill my my dreams and my goals. To those people who I get to interact with, I hopefully make positive impact.
Yeah.
Leave positive impact on them, and just basically to be happy and live a very fulfilling life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's very touching. Yes, thank you so much, William, for your knowledge, for your wisdom. I think I've learned, I've been validated, and I feel actually more pumped to continue being positive and to show up regardless of whatever obstacles or whatever mindset that is blocking, say, I'm doubting myself or whatever situation. You've reminded me that, of course, this is noble and let's show up for humanity. And just to close, what's your parting shot?
Yeah. So God gives us grace. God gives us something special. That special thing, let no one dim your light. Focus on your goal, go for it. Put the work, because it's not always easy. Put in the work, and the rest, leave it to God. It will all end up well.
Whew. Nothing to add. I have something special. Me, I've received it. I have something special. My light, I won't let it dim.
Yeah.
So I hope you also will do the same. And I'm hoping that we all get to change the world to a better place for everyone. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you, William. Thank you for watching this episode and hoping to see you in the next one. This is Be You, Be True by US Florence Kisombe. See you.